A very good afternoon to all the viewers. Welcome back to another episode of BW People HR Voices. Today we are joined by Ms. Devika Tandon, Director of Human Resources and Learning and Development at Hilti India. With more than 15 years of experience across HR functions, she has held key leadership roles at AkzoNobel, Ken Oil and Gas, Religare, and Right Management. In the past, she has functioned as a regional L&D leader with 4,000 employees across 17 countries. Firstly, welcome Devika. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me over.
So, for all the viewers, today's conversation is going to revolve around how aligning the people strategy with business goals work at a workplace. So, Devika, let's start with understanding, the Indian business landscape. It's evolving every day. With that, the role of an HR also evolves. But how is the role of an HR evolving concerning that it is aligning the people strategy with the overall business goals?
So, whenever a company is making a people strategy, they align it to business, and I would assume everyone does that. Uh, the crux is at the center is the business strategy, and around that we kind of navigate. And that's why a sales organization will have a different strategy from a manufacturing and from a service on the people front as well.
Right.
However, in the recent times, the way the whole environment has been so dynamic and evolving, I guess the crux is really that how often are we revisiting that people strategy, and how agile as a HR function are we to be able to really revisit it quickly and adapt to that business scenario. And I find that maybe perhaps on that element, probably some of us can be towards the edges. But the last 2 or 3 years, the way COVID happened, it has taught us that the people strategy should be really the cornerstone of that, should be building agile organizations. And if you look at specific elements of HR as well, people strategy and the agility in that can get impacted by what kind of skills you're bringing into the organization, be it buying from outside or building internally. What kind of processes you're creating, or flexibility that you're providing, or probably empowerment that you're providing to the employee base. For example, learning agility itself is becoming one of the skills in this VUCA environment. So that's how, in various elements, people strategy has to be really aligned to the business strategy.
Right. I agree with you. You also mentioned about strategies of different departments. Now, when we talk about the different departments, HR, we know, is the core of the organization. It's the heart of the organization. And every other department, say finance, operations, marketing, it is somehow connected to the HR department. So, how do you think this collaboration with the HR department ensures that people strategies are tightly integrated with broader business strategies?
So when we look at the other departments, I would say that, if you look at Hilti, our larger purpose is really making construction better.
Right.
And all the departments, be it finance, be it HR, be it operations, everyone is rallying towards that one vision that we have. And people are really central to that strategy of business of making construction better.
Right.
We are a sales organization, and pretty much the targets that we have are pretty simple, and you can evaluate against the target. But the larger aim that we have, as I mentioned, of really impacting the industry overall, hence it goes just beyond the sales target, and it is about how are we really going about achieving those targets really, and how are we creating an impact on the overall construction industry. And hence, for that, I guess if you look at from the HR perspective, it is about you enable that how part for the larger organization. Um, if we look at the sales folks, we are really training our team leaders to be really skilled in terms of coaching people on the field, and we have programs like a field coaching where every day the leaders are coaching the account managers and their team members to be really saying that how they are more enabled to be going out there, partnering with the customer, winning with the customer. And hence it becomes very important from HR perspective to be really serving business like that. The second part, you said that how do we really look at the larger collaboration with other verticals, with a larger purpose like that, it is really not about running our own shows and working in silos. And at Hilti, the way we operate is also that how do we leverage the power of the entire team in India, the regional team, the global team, to bring the best to the industry. And hence, everyone, be it account managers in the sales or specification consultants in engineering, our support verticals, HR, finance, everyone is geared towards that. And we have put in programs like recognition program like Spotify, which really recognizes behaviors like collaboration, and that's how we integrate the entire people strategy on in various processes and policies as well, so that the larger purpose of making construction better is met.
Right. So you mentioned about tailoring the learning and development initiatives, especially for the sales workforce. So now when we come to the point of diversity, DEI, we know that, employees, they're coming from different backgrounds, different regions, different cultures, even different languages. So how can an HR ensure that the strategies are inclusive, they cater to the diverse needs of the workforce? What are your views on this?
You're asking this question just at the right time where we are relooking at our whole strategy. And for us at Hilti, the word inclusion has really evolved in the terms of the way we are seeing it. For us, it is much more than just diversity now. And for us to be an inclusive organization, what we really mean is that every employee voice is heard, and we treat people just the way they are, and we accept them the way they are. We accept them with all their uniqueness, and we create platforms where people can raise their voice, and where they're heard, where they're celebrated, where they're recognized.
Right.
uh, India is, of course, diverse, but at the same time, there is a lot of unity, I would say, in India on some aspects. Like whenever you have people visiting from outside or any newcomers that are joining the organization, I guess it's a lot of warmth and the emotional connect that we thrive on as a country. At the same time, that connect comes across in terms of how we are celebrating, maybe over food, over music, over dance. And it is that feeling of belongingness, I guess, is very central to our being an inclusive organization. And that's how not only HR, but all leaders, the entire organization is geared towards creating that feeling of belongingness. If I have to give you a few examples, so we have a program at Hilti known as Creating Memorable Moments. And it is really about looking at the entire life cycle of an employee from the day the person is joining till the last. And what are those memorable moments during that life cycle, be it personal or professional? And how do you create a celebration around those moments, be it on the first day of joining or any service anniversary, or when a person has a newborn at home? And we take pride in celebrating together as an organization to create that feeling of belongingness in our employee base. And I guess it is those things that make the organization very, very much inclusive. Besides that, we have platforms like Co-Create, which help us in co-creating the policies and processes together with the employees. And it's not like that HR is just putting a policy, but we take employee opinions through those platforms. We have a suggestion box which is completely there, where the access is to the GM, and the managing director himself accesses it. uh, Besides those platforms, I guess inclusion at Hilti is not a HR agenda, and it is led by the people themselves. So we have a very nice concept of ERG, which is Own It, and there are employees who are inclusion champions in that Own It, and they are driving the entire inclusion agenda in the organization. So for us, as I said, the meaning of inclusion has really evolved, and we are gearing the entire organization to be really holding the flag in this inclusion agenda.
Right. It's great to know what Hilti is doing in this space. But when we talk about the people strategy, employee engagement is also a very vital aspect of the strategy, right? So it also contributes towards achieving business goals. So, what strategies can the HR or the leaders employ to enhance this engagement with the employees?
Again, I guess, and some of the things Hilti takes a very different take on some of these concepts. As I said, for us, making construction better is a larger purpose. And we rally everything really in terms of be it engagement, be it a people strategy, everything to that one single goal of making construction better. Now, when we come to engagement, what we really offer is, in terms of our customer promise, is improving productivity, improving sustainability, and being a safe place, internally and externally, the way we are working. And for achieving this, it goes much beyond being engaged. It really goes much beyond being engaged. And why do I say so? Us is not really a product selling organization. We partner with customers to create solutions, and if you have to create those solutions, it means that you really need to have a deep understanding of the products and what really it serves the customer for. So that means that you really need to have a deep understanding also of the long term relationships that we build with our customers. And for really doing so, we need people who stay with us for a longer time, who have really understood that relationship and also our products. And to achieve that, really, you need employees who are engaged for sure, but also you need employees. What we call in Hilti is really living the Hilti way, and that is really ingrained in our culture. That what essence, what brand really does Hilti stand for? And to really propagate or to really instill that healthy way, we have even a unique concept of culture Sherpas, who from the day one of joining instill that into any new joiner, the healthy way. And there are pit stops during your career journey at Hilti where you pause, you reflect, and you align yourself to the larger culture of the organization to create that larger purpose for yourself, to align your role to the larger purpose. And once I guess that alignment is there overall, there's automatically a sense of engagement and pride as a result of it. So those are some of the things that we do to really look at engagement from a larger perspective.
Right. Now, the construction industry, it is a male dominated industry, right? So, in terms of numbers, have you seen a rise in women participation at your organization? What are your personal views on this? Even we are seeing that women in leadership roles at board level, they're also increasing significantly now. What are your views on this?
As I said, that for us, inclusion is much larger.
What
And
I'm sorry to cut you on this, but what kind of JDs, job descriptions are you preparing in today's date, because they have become something that is really important to attract the diverse talent? Is there any difference in the skill sets that you're looking for today?
so, yes, again, coming back to what I was telling you, that as I said, the inclusion is much larger. And for us, it is not only about gender, it is much larger that every employee feels included. And when we are looking into the market also, as you talked about JDs, we are trying to tap on to all kinds of talent over there, and without really labeling or tagging that talent. So we are looking for best talent from the industry for sure. The JDs are very neutral. We do not look at it doesn't use the terms of gender really that way, and it goes beyond gender for us to look at talent from a diverse perspective, from a skill set. For us, the crux is diversity of thought, and that's what a new uh, strategy that we're looking at is diversity of thought. And now that diversity of thought can come in from any pockets really of the talent pool that is there. Coming back to your first question, which you were asking in terms of the women representation, definitely over the years, while we have focused on the larger inclusion agenda, At the same time, we keep our eyes on the representations, and yes, I'm happy to say that our percentages have improved, and especially in this kind of industry which we are supporting. We support the construction industry, but we have all kind of roles. We have the sales roles, HR, manufacturing. So I guess it is like any other industry, and our representation has increased for sure, and I'm happy to say that.
Right, that's lovely to know. So, Devika, sustainability and CSR, if we look at, a decade back, they were just buzzwords. Now they've become a top priority of organizations. So, how does an HR contribute to aligning the workforce initiatives with environmental and societal objectives?
Keep repeating, and I may sound repeating the same sentence, but again, to make construction better, that is a larger purpose. And if you have to do that, construction is a big industry globally,
Right.
and from a aspect of an impact, be it the carbon footprint or the promise that we have on the productivity, safety, and sustainability, on all of these elements, we can really create an impact. Before we come to HR, I would say at a larger level, we look at how do we really improvise the productivity. So recently, we launched our new set or range of products known as Neuron,
Mm.
and that range really improves the productivity with the cordless technology,
Mm.
and really, of course, and that's used on a single battery platform. So, from a business perspective, also, we are looking at sustainable solutions for our customers.
Right.
At the same time, if you look at HR is partnering with a larger vision and mission of creating and impacting the community. Globally, we have Hilti Foundation, and that foundation is really focused on creating affordable housing, economic empowerment, music for children. In India, if we look at, we have specific leaves which we call EBB, that is engaged beyond business. And it is for employees are free to utilize those leaves to go for activities and volunteer and create an impact on the community. At the same time, we focus a lot on education of children, and we have programs like School Chale Hum. We are conscious of the environment, and we do tree plantation drives throughout the year. So these are some of the initiatives through which we want to create a larger impact on the community. And Hilti as a whole is doing that. It is really not dependent on one specific vertical, be it HR or CSR or any other vertical. All of us together are wanting to create that impact.
Lovely. So, Devika, before leaving, most of our viewers, they are HR leaders, they're employers, employees. What would be your last piece of advice to them?
I guess I lead a lot from the heart. So I would say that creating a sense in today's time, as I mentioned during the discussion, a sense of belongingness in the employees goes a long way to retain employees, to keep them happy, to create engaged workplaces. And at the same time, once we do that, automatically the business results and the impact on ground gets created. So authentic leadership and leading with a lot of heart and creating a sense of belongingness is something that I would really leave the message with the leaders.
Thank you. Great tip. Thank you so much, Devika, for joining us today. It was lovely having you on our show.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Thank you.